I currently work at Investment New South Wales.
Thank you, Jesse, and apologise for not giving you the opportunity there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a number of people presenting to us on this item. And can you just tell me, Chair, can you tell me, please, Secretary, who was the first person to address this?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we have two speakers registered tonight and one submission. One of the speakers is waiting in the lobby, which is Mr. Carlos Becerra, who's the Secretary Manager of Hillsdale Bowling and Recreation Club, and he's the applicant, and he is against the officer's recommendation. I'm just texting the affected neighbour to let them know to also join the meeting, but they have not joined as yet.
Thank you so much. Mr. Becerra, have I got that correct? Carlos, could you
Yes,
please?
I'm here. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Good
attendance.
evening, panel.
Would you please address the panel?
Good evening. My name's Carlos Becerra. As you know, I'm from Hillsdale Bowling Club. I'm the manager here, and I also reside in Hillsdale, 3 houses away from the club, in fact. So I'm always here and making sure the place is running smoothly. So am I the first speaker, can I ask? I'm the first person to speak.
Yes, you are. Yes.
Okay.
Now's your opportunity, sir.
Okay, so I'm not sure whether anybody's ever been over our way to our little bowling club.
Yes, we all have, in fact.
You have been?
Not necessarily to play bowls, but to look at the site and inspect the surrounds.
Oh, that's good news. I'm glad you've been here. Do you mind if I tell you a little bit of story about the club? Is that okay to do that?
As long as you keep it brief, we'd be happy to hear it. Okay,
so I commenced here 7 years ago, and the club was a little bit of a boys' club. Not many people came here at all. So we turned it around. Now it's a family club. It's a community hub, and we have families and children and prams and people coming for dinner, and they're enjoying the place. We had less than 200 members before. Now we've got up to close to 2,000 members. So it's grown quite considerably, and we're really happy about that. With this DA, look, maybe I was naive, but 12 months ago I found that I was informed that we can only trade till 10 o'clock 6 nights of the week. And so we started to do that, and it's affected our business dramatically. People no longer choose to come here, as many people as we had coming, because we close the bar at 9:30, 6 nights a week, and people are going elsewhere because we're closing too early. The current trading hours are 10 o'clock, like I said, like the DA says, and it's hurting us quite a bit. Sales have dropped considerably, and there's no profit being made now. But the club's still going strong. But like I said, our sales have dropped, and that's affected our club in a major way. We've dropped from the previous year. We've dropped like $30,000 a month in our bar and all around in food and beverage sales. We understand that there are 2 objections from police and 16 objections from our neighbours, and I can understand why they're concerned. Perhaps I shouldn't have applied for a 1:30 close. I wasn't sure. I haven't done this before, so I wasn't sure, and I thought, well, 1:30, we're never going to close that late. But I just thought, if we need to one day, stay open longer than normal, we could do. So what we're asking is for the panel to defer this application that we made, in order for us to meet with police and council again, and maybe talk about hours that are more acceptable to police and council. So that's the main reason I wanted to meet with you, to just ask if we could defer this, ask the panel if we could defer this until we meet again with police and council, to see what's suitable to council and police. That's basically it.
Okay.
It's our request, yeah.
Any questions from the panel? Have you not spoken with, I'll ask a question then. Have you not spoken with the police before this?
No. We didn't. We hadn't spoken with police. All we heard from the council in an email that was sent, that there were 2 objections from police. And I'm guessing that they objected because it's late and we have a lot of residents around the area, and I can understand that. I mean, most of the residents directly around our club here are members of the club, and they enjoy the facilities. But no, I hadn't spoken to police.
Mr. Becerra, have you, it's Scott Barwick, sorry. There's a summary of a bullet point on page 24 of the report of a number of incidents. I mean, have you read that report? And I'm going to go on a limb and presume that's one of the reasons why the police are got some concerns with the submissions that they've made. There's quite a number of incidences of concern that have been drawn to the attention of council. I would have thought, and I'm assuming you're the licensee, that would have been a very pertinent starting point to have that engagement with council even before you lodge the application with council for consideration. Have you reviewed those incidents that are in the assessment report?
I haven't received anything from anything to review. No, I haven't received that. Should I have gone in there and looked for them?
Well, there's a comprehensive assessment report that's been published for, I think, at least a week on setting out council's assessment of the application and a summary of the issues and why they've reached a recommendation for refusal. That's before us tonight, and quite a comprehensive one was a summary of the referral to the New South Wales Police and the incidents that have been summarised in the officer's report.
So that's been out for a week, has it? No, I'm sorry, I have not seen anything.
Okay.
Have you had any experts helping you with your application? Have you had a planner?
I have had, yes. There's a fellow named Lewis Golumis who's been helping me with the application because he's more experienced as that. Like I said, I've never been down this track before.
So didn't he tell you about the report?
No, I haven't seen a report. No, nothing's been emailed to me, and no, I haven't. No.
I'm not sure it gets emailed to you, so but it's available from the council.
Okay, no, haven't seen. No.
All right, thank you.
Can I just ask? So can I just clarify? So when you've started, obviously the business, you were exceeding the hours.
Correct.
Right. And you've obviously got a lot of business at those after hours, technically, from people that are coming, and I suspect that some of those have generated some incidents of certain behaviour because they're at later times. The only other thing is that your acoustic report for the proposal that you've got now, your acoustic report is saying that for after hours activity, you'd only be able to have 55 people inside the premises and a maximum of 15 outside the premises. And I mean, I honestly can't see how you would be generating any profit by those numbers, because if you consider having staffing and so forth, that, and 55 people is not going to generate what you were getting, particularly when you've got a capacity of 200 or something in that order. So I think that that's going to be one issue anyway. You're not going to be able to generate the money because the acoustic consultant is saying that at certain times your premises is generating too much noise by the amount of people that you're having. So I think you're going to have to reevaluate that issue as well in terms of acoustic impacts of any activity after your hours and how you can ameliorate that. Because that's one thing I just can't see, and that's what they're saying. You can only have a specified amount, and I don't think it would be functional anyway for you with if that has to be complied with. So that's the one thing I was kind of reading in, and that was your acoustic report. So that's your acoustic consultant who's suggested that. But I think probably like Gary, you need to look at the operation. It's the scale may not be appropriate for this location, given you've got so many, residential properties around. It's quite sensitive, but obviously working through the issues is something you'll need to consider. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what we're talking about is, at 10 o'clock or so, move everybody inside. Sure, there are people who smoke cigarettes, and we'll let them out while I have the cigarette and move them back inside the club, so that to limit the noise. That's
well, I think you really, there's a bigger picture here. The bigger picture is, firstly, if I could suggest talking with the police, and maybe also speaking with the council, but a good starting point would be the police, because they've been made aware of the situation. And the other thing you should do is obtain a copy of the report and read through it quite carefully.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I intend to do.
All right. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to me.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you.
Jesse, I'm not leaving you out again, am I?
No further questions from me. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I've made contact with Mr. Manassi, the affected neighbour, but unfortunately he's caught up in a meeting and will no longer be able to address the panel tonight.
Okay, thank you.
We have no further speakers on this item.
No
Thank you.
further speakers.
Would
Okay.
you like me to hang up now?
Yes, would you? Well, it's a matter for you. So yes, I would ask you to hang up, because we'll now go into camera and we'll conclude the public side of the meeting. And
thank you to all the panel for listening.
Thank you, Carlos.
Good night. Good night.
Thank you.
thank you. Talk about blind faith.
Catherine, there's a Mr. Gill on the line. Do we know, is that a speaker or a resident, or?
He's one of our team, isn't he?
And I'm just going to ask him through you to cease the meeting now. Close the meeting.
Yes, but Mr. Gill's one of our team, isn't he?
Yes, he's going to cease screaming. I just will.
No worries.
Now
Yes, so we've
All good.
formally closed the meeting at 6:20. But do we formally close it now or close it to the public now?
Yes, formally close it now.
Okay. All right. So the last item, has anyone got any thoughts other than the recommendation?
No.
No.
I don't think we could in any way entertain his request for a deferment.
No.
Stop. Thank you.
And
Chair, I'm still waiting for confirmation that live stream has
Sorry.